Hi all, this is Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York, where it's not such a perfect day. It's not such a perfect day on Wall and Broad either. I mean, it's a little rainy, it's a little damp, it's a little chilly. Back to my sweatshirt. So, it feels a little less like spring today than it did yesterday, that's for sure. So anyway, what did I do today? I actually slept past my online Qigong class, the one that I lead every morning at 9 a.m. Slept right through it. I said, Alexa, stop. And Alexa stopped. She listened. So I reset my alarm for, my alarm was set for 8. I reset it for 8:40. 8:40 came, and I said, Alexa, stop. I still had time for my 9 o'clock class. I didn't care. I was tired. I wanted to sleep. I mean, I went to bed about 1, which is not that unusual. Sometimes I do that. But I just didn't feel like getting up. So I didn't. Got up at about 10 and immediately went and made some trades. I got out of my EVRI, took a little loss. I mean, I don't like any loss, but a little loss is better than a big loss. I'm online, streaming online to my viewers here. I'll be leaving soon. Bye. Let's see if that works. That was the big boss. You know what big boss is, don't you? Yeah. Okay, in any event, I wanted to come online before I make it to Manhattan today because I'm not sure I'll be able to come back on later today. And I did have some things I wanted to talk to you about, some charts I wanted to look at together with you. I've been screaming at the top of my lungs, CVM is going up. It's going up. Well, what did I do? Did I add more CVM or did I take a little off the table? Those of you who follow my vlog know what I did because CVM broke 7 today. Didn't I say I would sell some at 7? I know it's an arbitrary number. I said all along it's an arbitrary number, but it represents like 150% gain. I sold a meager 10%. That's not somebody who thinks it's going down, right? It's just somebody protecting his investment a little bit. All right, so I did that. I sold my every for a small loss, tiny loss. I mean, I got in at 5 1/4, sold it at 4.94. Had a mental stop at 4.94. When it hit it, I said, enough, I give up. So that's one in the loss column. I've had about 3 or 4 or 5 in a row in the plus column. So I did not enter any other swing trades for today. I was thinking of a VO when it hit like a low around $1. I did not. I was thinking of prpo, and I'm still thinking of that one. It's an interesting penny stock play, which I talked about yesterday. What else? What else did I do? I bought some more pot. Yeah, not a crock pot, but not the actual weed, but the pot stock. And the one that I bought, it wasn't ACB. It wasn't TLRY. It wasn't CGC. So you know which one it was. Dr. J's favorite pot stock, Chronos, CRON. I've been taking it on the chinny chin chin, but I added more. I had a choice. Do I sell some, hold my position, or add? I chose to add a little, bring down my average just to drop. I think it'll bring down my average. Not even sure what my average is. I have it in two different accounts. I'm ahead on one, behind on the other. Probably even up on Chronos, but I added a little bit, just a little bit. All right, so that's all the trades I made so far today. I did look at making a swing trade on PED, and I still might. I talked about that one yesterday. What else was I contemplating doing that I didn't do? Oh, what's the difference? Oh, yeah, BPTH. I almost went in the 15s on a swing trade. It would have been a very good buy. And now, last I looked, it was over 16. BPTH may have bottomed. Certainly a good place for it to have bottomed at about 15 and change. So let's watch that one. If not, act on it. I may act on it. I don't know. I'll know better after the vlog. I have a few minutes before I have to leave to Manhattan, New York. Let's share screen. As always, be your own due diligence. My opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. Please subscribe to my vlog if you haven't already. Tell your friends about me. Share a link. Write comments and give me that thumbs up. Let's see if share video, share screen works. It seems to work. Been having trouble with my mouse. I mentioned that yesterday. I changed mice 5 different times, and to no avail. Sometimes it loses it. Sometimes it thinks I don't have a mouse. It's a Windows 10 problem, I believe. So in any event, let's get to the video charts. Starting with the ABCs of it. All right, so what should we start with? First of all, why is Yahoo Finance not loading? Wonderful. I'm giving it another shot. Load. Is this a Verizon thing? You know, I find that I'm losing Verizon modem a lot lately. So maybe it's a Verizon issue. I lose the internet just too often during the day. It's not loading. I'm probably not even connected. Yeah, you can wait. Exit the page. Now it's there. Oh, all right. So let's look at where we are on the Dow. The Dow is down 0.63% to 26,174. The S&P is down 0.45%. The Nasdaq down a mere 0.2%. The Russell is down 0.5%. All right. So I said yesterday that the Dow had a couple of dojis. It looked a little bit like it could correct. I said if it does correct, it could be 26,000, a tiny little correction. It could be 25.5. It could be 25,000. I don't see more than that. I don't even see that. But I did mention that yesterday, and I thought I'd mention it again today. Hopefully you're hearing me. I see on the bottom of my screen 1 million messages waiting for cash. I think this is a precarious connection today. Hopefully I'm coming through. Let's not even bother looking at the Dow chart. Let's go right to BPTH. 1618 is on my screen. Let's see what when it loads what it says. If it loads. Oh boy. Slow isn't the word for it. Come on. All right, there we go. It's down 41 pennies to 16.14. We looked at the chart yesterday and we saw that it was basically sitting at support. And I drew two parallel lines for support, kind of a support cushion. And it stopped right in the middle of that support cushion and started to turn around. Now it's coming back down. You see what I mean by the middle of that support cushion? Here's the today's candle, very small range, 1570 to 1670, and it stopped today at a low is 1570. This line down here that I drew is what is it? It's the high of this candle, 1460. So 1570 to 1460. It looked like a very good place to enter. If you wanted to do a swing trade at 1570, not a bad idea. If it comes back down there, I might try it. I'm not sure where I would do my stop and take profit, but somewhere in this never land, no man's land between these two lines looks like a decent entry point for BPTH. Of course, that's where it is now. It's still between those two lines. So I guess if I wanted to, I could take a shot with that. I don't know for sure if I will or not. It's something I'm contemplating. All right, I can't dwell on one stock forever. Let's look at PED, another one that I'm contemplating. Dr. J is contemplating his navel lately. All right, so look at this beautiful trend line. I had it drawn yesterday. It must have been erased somehow. But if you recall, it had a beautiful trend line all the way from like, well, if you go down, I think this line was included. I don't remember. This line started the trend line, 1226. And I drew a trend line all the way through, and probably I wish I hadn't erased it. I didn't actually erase it. Yahoo erased it. But let's see if I can reconstruct the trend line. Probably won't be the same one. That's the trouble with trend lines. There's a million ways to draw them. You want to get a trend line that has the most meaning, the most hits. This is decent. So what the action today is showing us is that we're actually trading basically below the trend line that's been in effect for so many months. So that's not a good sign. Not the best of signs. Okay. This is clearly not the trend line that I had before. The trend line that I had before went down further than February, went down to December. So I don't know what trend line I had before, or how I drew it. But this is certainly a valid trend line, the one I just drew. What I mean by valid, it has many, many touches to this trend line. So you could argue that this is a perfectly good trend line and that it's been hugging this trend line for many months. No doubt about that. And today it's showing a little weakness. So what might be an interesting place for it to stop if it does go down? Let's look at a horizontal line. Okay, so let's look at this horizontal line. Or maybe one that touches a trend line. How about this one? It's not a bad line. That line is at 249. And let's look at another key level of support right in here. And that's probably the main levels of support. And you could draw one more here. Okay, so we have support at around 239 to 249, that 10-cent area. And then it drops down to about 215, 209, whatever this line is. So we have a few levels of support here. And if you wanted to play this, considering the weakness in the market, considering that it has dipped below the trend line, I would look to wait for an entry maybe right around here. Let's see what level that is. The low of the day, 256. So you enter at 256, stop at 235, and take profit. Maybe you go for glory on the take profit. You go for like $3.50 if you got time on your hands, because that'll take a while to hit. But you can make up an interesting number by looking back in the weekly. Well, we could look back at the weekly. So looking back at the weekly, this would be an interesting number right here, 304. And that's not even that outlandish at all. So $3 would be take profit. Let's say 250, you go in. So you're looking for a meager 52 cents, 2.25 stop, something like that. If you're looking for a more tight range for the stop loss, 250 to $3 is not bad, is it? That's, what is that, 20%? That's a damn good move. And what are you risking? You're risking a quarter, you're risking 10%. So it's a 2-to-1 shot. It's an interesting play. I think you very well might get 250 because the market looks a little weak. This is looking a little weak today at 261. So it's possible you pick it up even today at 250. It is possible. All right, let's look at, not going to look at THCT. It has last I looked, a very big bid-ask, very difficult stock to get into and get out of. So let's look at PED. We're looking at CVM. I told you in the introduction, I sold 10% at 7. It doesn't mean I want it to go down below 7. Stay up. Well, it was up really sharp today. I don't know what's wrong with my screen. It's got these two crazy lines up here. Makes it difficult to read. The high of the day is 750. Low of the day, 550. Wow. That's an unbelievable range right there. You know, it's a great day trading stock at this point. I don't like that because I don't like when day traders come into my territory. I am not a day trader. Keep them out. Swing trader is one thing, but day traders give me a headache. All right, so where do you pick it up if you want to buy it? Again, I don't know. I told you that yesterday. I don't really know a good entry level point because there's always the possibility of dilution, especially when it runs to like 10, $11. I think that Gert would be a fool not to cash in on that and pull some money out. I do think it's quite likely to go to 10, 11. So I said in a tweet, someone asked me, am I still going to sell some at 7? I said, yeah, I'll sell some at 7 and some at 11, like in the casinos, 7, 11. If it happens before the readout. I think 11 is quite possible. Sorry for the messed up looking chart. I'm going back to the daily. And I'm going to make this normal looking. Phase Bio came from nowhere to be a stock. I mean, literally from the pennies almost. It had a tremendous run, and it continues to amaze. As Anthony says, this stock continues to amaze him. Well, it's amazing me. I predicted it would open at 1450, and that if you wanted to go into a swing at 1450, it looked okay, with a stop around 1250 and a take profit around $17. It's still, I think it's going to get to that 1450 today. What was the low of the day? The low of the day was 1487. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it might have seen the low of the day already. It's hard to say. It's up 21% to 1527, but it opened a little higher, and it ran to 1665. Wow. Another runner. Biotech is hot. I don't care if the index is down today. Biotech is hot. And the index is down. The IBB down 0.5%. A little bit less down than the Dow, though, right? Dow is down 0.6%. I promised somebody I'd look at ACAD. Let's just first look at aveo. What the heck? Okay, so aveo was as high as $1.85 on April 2nd. Subsequently came back down to earth, but has been following its a nice trend line up, which I'll attempt to draw. By the way, I have no idea what these lines are or how I got them. Very curious. Go away, lines. They don't want to. All right, anyway. They're not bothering me too much, I guess. I seem to have been very busy drawing lines on aveo. Whoops. I try to pull it down, it comes back up. Okay, leave it alone. That looks like a pretty good trend line. So it's, even though it's down today, it's right at support. You want to take a shot with that one on a swing trade. It looks interesting. Where would you put your stop, though? Let's see. It's a buck. You'd be coming in at a buck. I would look to give myself some latitude on this one. Probably right in here. The bottom of this candle, 91 pennies. That's about where I would stop, 90 pennies. So my stop would be 90 pennies. My entry point would be a buck. And my take profit, how about $1.23, the high of the day before? Right up here. All right, $1.21 is fine also. So you come in at $1.20. So you're coming at $1, you're looking for $1.20, 20%. You're willing to give up a dime to 90 cents, 10%. That is a perfect setup for a swing trade, in my mind. It looks pretty good to me because we're sitting at support. I mean, the only thing you could say that's bad is it has an awful looking red candle today. But you're coming in at bargain prices. I'm sure there was some news that affected it negatively. Otherwise, I wouldn't see such a horrible looking candle. Still in all, it's probably worth a shot as a swing trade. Aveo at $1, sell at $1.20, stop loss at 90. Looks interesting. I might even do that one. Tandem, I don't know if I'm in a swing trade or not, but I added twice in the 60s. One of them I had in mind swinging with to 70. It's got to get there first. It is up nicely today to 63, 67. Every time I draw lines, it gets erased. So I'm not drawing lines. I don't know what's going on, but it has a nice green candle today, a new high from the day before. It's another high from the day before that, a higher high than the day before that. It's got to take this high out at 63.85, and we're all set. The high of the day today, it did take it out, 64.10. So we're doing pretty good. The next candle to take out would be this one, 65.11, and then we're on our way to 69.47. Tandem, the beast is roaring once again. I feel confident that the beast will once again start to make new highs en route to $100 a share. I've been calling that $100 number since it's in the low 40s. I seldom do that, but I just like the behavior of this stock. Forget about the product, which is great, the ultra high-tech pump for type 1 diabetics. Great product and just a great chart, a great performer. I guess you get the idea that I like Tandem. I've been liking it for a long time. I will reluctantly give up some of my shares at 70. Let it get there. ACAD, I promised Brooklyn that I would take a look. ACAD. Okay, Brooklyn, let's take a look at ACAD. Wish somebody could tell me what these lines are and how to get rid of them. It's starting to annoy me. All right, they're not my lines, I assure you. I didn't put them there. At least I don't think I did. No. I couldn't erase them either. All right, so let's take a look at some sort of trend line here. This looks like it has at least 3 touches. Okay, my general rule is a decent trend line needs to have 3 touches. I'm sure if you look at this carefully enough, you'll find 3 touches if you go back far enough. Anyway, you got to draw the trend line somewhere. I guess I could have drew it up a little bit more, but this is fine. I like this key turning point, this low to use for the trend line. So it looked like a key low, so that's why I tried to draw a trend line right in there. We're very close to support, Brooklyn. So I like this trend line as a support line. You got to touch right here for support. You got to touch right here for support. and you have almost a touch right here that it bounced off of, showing that it is indeed support. So you bounced off support today to actually turn green, and you're looking okay. I think you're looking okay. I mean, I could have drawn a tighter trend line right in here, and then you'd be hovering below it. Let's see if I can. I don't even. Should I do that? This picture may give you more confidence than if I draw the other one, Brooklyn. Is that cheating? Let's just look at it. If you're looking for a target here, support. I showed you the trend line as support. You got the 50 as support below that at 25.06, and you also have the bottom of this candle as support at 25.53. We could draw that. Try to draw that 25.53 right in there. Don't think I got it high enough. A little bit higher. That's perfect. Okay, so you have support at the trend line. You have support at 25.53. You have support at the 50, which is probably also around 25.53 by the time it hits that, if it goes below the trend line. But if you're as conservative as you are, Brooklyn, if it dips much below this trend line, you're probably going to be out before it hits 25.50, 25.53. But what about letting it ride, or do you want to take some profits maybe up here? $28.68. I mean, this is really if you're interested in a swing trade. I mean, look at this beautiful triangle now. So I'm not sure if this is a meaningful triangle, because probably not, because I don't see more than one touch unless you go way back, and I don't know if there's any other touches. So it's probably not a very meaningful triangle, but maybe a tighter triangle might be more meaningful. I don't know. I don't want to start fooling around too much. But this is a nice target, the high of the day here. So for a swing trade, if somebody else other than Brooklyn wanted to get in here, probably you buy it right where it is at 27. Look to get out at 28.5 or a point and a half. And just use the upper, just use this ascending trend line as a possible stop loss if it breaks below that. You could do that. Or you could just let it ride to 25.53. So you're coming in at 27, let's say. 25.50 is a point and a half. 28.50 is a point and a half. It's an even money play. You could do that. I like this. I like acad. I like the channel that it's in. It's in a nice channel, upward channel. It's looking good, Brooklyn. I don't think there's any reason to panic on this one unless the whole market does collapse. So nothing wrong with that one. Zyme, Geron, that's a big mover today. That's the story stock. I don't know what the story is. What's the story? What's the story on Geron? Well, you got to look down here, unfortunately, not up there. It does look good. It broke through just about all the previous highs that it had to take out. The only high left is the 240 high. So it had a positive analyst call today. The Needham conference is coming up, I believe, and they're presenting. So, 240 is looking good. 240 is looking very good. So for a swing trade, this is looking really good. And the stop loss is easy. Just put it at the bottom of today's candle. That would be 189. So 189 stop or 188 stop, 240 target. Beautiful looking swing trade. Okay, so am I going to call it quits for today? I guess so. Got to leave it sometime. I'll miss every train, right? So this has been Dr. J coming to you live, streaming live from Long Island, New York. Before I start out to Manhattan, New York, everyone have a great trading day. Hope I helped you out with some good ideas. As always, do your own due diligence. My opinions are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. Sometimes I have some clunkers. Mostly I have good ideas. You know, you got to take your job is to weed out the clunkers from the great ideas. And please, when you do that, let me know which are my good ideas, because sometimes I get confused myself. So don't forget to subscribe to Dr. J's vlog. Tell your friends about me. Shalom, sayonara, hasta luego. Hope to see you later. Bye.